Welcome to this session about helping you manage food emergencies and emergencies due to food allergies. So, I'm Carrie. I'll be your presenter for today. The purpose of this presentation is to help you think about what your role is as a school administrator in supporting the practices and policies at your school. We're using as our resource foundation the CDC's resource called Voluntary Guidelines for Managing Food Allergies in School and Early Care and Education Programs. So hopefully these objectives are pretty self-explanatory, and we'll get on. Before we review the action steps for you as a school administrator, I'm going to share some information about the guidelines and the nature of food allergies in the lives of children that we serve. Now, food allergies have always been around, but they are a growing concern because they affect approximately 8% of school-age children, a slightly lower number for younger children. For reasons that we do not completely understand, the incidence of food allergies are also increasing. Another alarming statistic is that 1 out of every 5 students, or 20%, will have food allergies while they're at school, and up to a quarter of those will have life-threatening allergies. And those may happen where there was no previously known food allergy. This is a huge issue because we won't have an allergy action plan for those children for whom no one knew there was a food allergy. So that's why it's important to have as many people on staff as possible trained in how to recognize food allergy presentations and to be familiar with all of the different types of ways that that can present. This is something that is a requirement to us from the federal government. So first we have to understand how food allergies work. What is the nature of a food allergy? So let's talk about it. It is an adverse immune system reaction that occurs after the exposure to a certain food. There are more than 170 different foods that can cause the allergies, but most allergies are caused by milk, eggs, fish, shellfish, wheat, soy, peanuts, and tree nuts. But people can be allergic to anything. Food allergy reactions can range from very mild, a little bit of itching on the tongue, to very severe, life-threatening closure of the airways. So it is very difficult to predict. This immune response can include and affect the respiratory system, the gastrointestinal tract, skin, or cardiovascular system. Symptoms can include swollen lips or tongue or eyes, itchiness in various parts of the body, although the mouth is most often reported, rashes, hives, nausea, vomiting, loss of consciousness, or mood change or confusion. I know of one case where basically the person acted like they were drunk when they would have a severe food allergy. Anaphylaxis is best described as the severe allergic reaction that has rapid onset and may cause death. Not all reactions will develop into anaphylaxis. In fact, most are mild and resolve without any problems or medication. However, early signs of anaphylaxis can resemble a mild allergic reaction. Unless obvious symptoms such as throat hoarseness or swelling or persistent wheezing or fainting or low blood pressure are present, it's not easy to predict whether these initial mild symptoms will progress and become an anaphylactic reaction that can result in death. Therefore, everyone known to have a food allergy with a suspected ingestion of that allergen and the appearance of system must be closely monitored and possibly treated for early signs of anaphylaxis. This applies to your staff as well as the children. There is no treatment to prevent food allergy reactions except strict avoidance of the food allergens. Since avoidance is not always possible, our staff must be prepared to deal with allergic reactions, including anaphylaxis. The recommended first line of treatment for anaphylaxis is the prompt use of epinephrine. Epinephrine is typically given by an autoinjector, which is spring-loaded syringe to deliver a measured dose of epinephrine, typically called an EpiPen. Epinephrine autoinjectors are designed so that they can be administered by anyone with a very small amount of training. If you suspect anaphylaxis, do the following. Activate the person's food allergy emergency plan if present. Be ready to administer the epinephrine autoinjector if you are delegated and trained to do so. You're the administrator. You're able to do this. If somebody else on staff is more comfortable doing it, you can delegate that. Someone must call 911 or the medical emergency system immediately. Anyone with anaphylaxis must be monitored closely and evaluated as soon as possible in an emergency care setting. We do not have the training, the medical training, to be able to do appropriate follow-up. They need to go to the emergency room, and they should go by ambulance. They should not be being transported by your staff or by the parents. The importance of seeking emergency care is key. We do not want anyone, the parents or your staff, to be driving a child when they have further complications from the allergy reaction. They need to be in an ambulance. So what can we do? We can be familiar with these general guidelines and work with your staff to create a school-wide management plan for allergies. Coordinate with any family members who you know have allergy action plans. You can talk to the parents. They have probably had extensive training on this. If you have staff who have severe allergies, they can be involved as well. And together with parents, staff, and the administrative team, develop a school-wide plan for allergy actions if you don't already have one. If you already have one, review it with your school, with all the members of your staff. And then identify somebody who's going to be the point person on this type of situation going forward. They will be the person who will do drills a couple of times a year with your staff. They'll be the person who updates the information as new information is provided. Your school's allergy action plan should address the 5 priorities, ensuring that there is daily management for the food allergies of all enrolled children, preparing the staff for food allergies and emergency, also preparing the children, providing professional development on food allergies for all staff members. If you would like a copy of this PowerPoint, please email us, carrie@texasdirector.org, and we'll be happy to send it to you, and you can use it for training your staff as well. Um, Educate all students and their families about food allergies, and create and maintain a healthy and safe education environment. Excuse me. Another part of what we can do is to make sure that everyone feels supported and that they understand what their roles and responsibilities are. Um, we get to oversee our staff and make sure that they're following the daily management practices that we outlined. And we are going to, talk with whoever's doing our food management at your center, whether that's a cook or whether it's each classroom with the caregivers opening up and dispensing lunches and snacks brought by the kids. Ensure that any needed allergy action plans are posted, and make arrangements for any appropriate accommodations for any children with diagnosed special needs related to food or allergy reactions. Again, we use this same procedure if the person has a different type of allergy, not just the food allergy, but say an insect allergy, any type of systemic allergic reaction, any type of anaphylaxis level allergy. And encourage the transmission of information. Make sure that everyone has the information they need to provide healthy and safe care for the kids. We've got to make sure that those kids have an equal opportunity to participate in the school life at our school. But we have to balance that out with supporting making sure that they are as healthy and safe as possible. So that does mean that there may be a table that is the table for children who have food allergies and another table for children who don't have food allergies. If we have someone who is bringing in foods that are an allergic an allergen for one of the children. Oh my goodness. What else can we do? There are so many things that we as school leaders can do. And the biggest thing, after making sure that you have policies and procedures in place, is making sure that people know what it is. So we have to have some drills, just like we have fire drills, and also write down the policies and procedures so that if the person who's in that situation with someone who's having a severe allergic reaction is somebody who freezes when there's an emergency, if there's something they can look at, it can get them back in motion and they can respond appropriately to the emergencies. Communicate about the allergies. I know we've said this before, we'll say it again. Make sure everybody is trained in how to handle it. Make sure you have a plan. Make sure people practice the plan. We've said all this before. We've just got this other slide to remind you these are the steps that we need to do. If you have a situation where someone has had a non-fatal food allergy reaction or other type of emergency allergy reaction, and it involves one of the children, these are the steps that we need to take within 24 hours of that reaction. We need to follow up. We need to do an after-action review. We need to discuss the roles and any things that need to change. Then we need to disseminate the information from the parents to the staff who have supervision of that child. And then we may need to get a new EpiPen and remind the parent that they need to follow up with their medical professional. In addition, we need to notify licensing within 48 hours of the fact that there has been this type of emergency at your program. The same would be true, again, if this involved a parent or a staff member who was having the allergic reaction to food or another known allergen. We get to be proactive. This is one of the few places where we can be proactive and prevent danger from entering into our classroom. Enforce the school rules that prohibit bringing in of an allergen that is known to be a problem for the children, and enforce kindness to each other. Help the children understand that everyone has something that is different about them, because we don't need the kids picking on each other because, oh, you can't have a Snickers bar, okay? There are a number of laws that may or may not be relevant to your program related to food allergies and access to your program. I'm not going to go over these in depth. Please feel free to take a screenshot and research them further to find out whether they do apply to you. The Americans with Disability Act and the Individuals with Disability Education Act definitely will apply to your program. And here's a place where you can get a little bit more information. All of these resources are free and are excellent sources for additional training for yourself, for your staff, and for the parents. If you have any questions that we have not covered here, please feel free to reach out to us. You can email Kate, Kate, at texasdirector.org if you have medical specific questions. If you just have questions about how to train your staff in this subject, or questions about specific elements of this training, you can reach out to Carrie, Carrie, at texasdirector.org. And thank you so much.